the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Logan, and I'm here bringing y'all this review to this newest Nas album called King's Disease. Now, this one came out as a little bit of a shock. We knew it was coming because he said he had an album coming with Hit Boy at some point this year, but we didn't actually know when it was going to be releasing until he released the single Ultra Black. And then after that, boom, it's coming next week, which was this past weekend. So got a chance to listen to it, and I enjoyed it. Now, it clocks in at 13 songs and 38 minutes. And this is his follow-up to his 2018 EP, Nasir, and then his 2019 The Lost Tapes 2, which again, as you know, the Lost Tapes are just collections of old songs that never actually got released because they were cut from albums, they weren't good enough, or they didn't fit the album or whatever. And you can tell that on those albums. Like, obviously, it's not as good, and it's like an Untitled Unmastered, basically, you know, by Kendrick, so you know what to expect on those. And then, of course, Nasir being the 7-song EP produced by Kanye, which had its positives and negatives. You know, Kanye gets on some weird stuff, and then it had some of Nas's lesser bars, let's say. But nonetheless, I was excited for this. Of course, Nas being one of my top 5 greatest of all time rappers, and one of my favorite rappers as well. So, just getting right into this one, it's Nas. You know he's coming with some good bars. You know he's got great lyricism, a classic old school sound. You know he's coming with some adult rap as well, as he has been doing since 2012. You know he's getting a little bit older now, in his late 40s, 50s, somewhere in there. I'm not exactly sure how old Nas actually is, but I know he's older now. So hearing what he's rapping about now is completely different from what he was rapping about back in 94 on Illmatic, of course. But it's still good regardless and very applicable. We finally get to hear Nas over some good production as well. You can tell over the later stages of his career he suffered on the production department. I mean, you know he did have Kanye on 2018's Nasir, and again, like I said, that has its positives, but at the same time, Kanye's production did get a little bit more annoying. I mean, I don't know, he just tried some weird stuff on that one that didn't always work specifically with Nas's sound. I feel like it could have worked with someone else, so not exactly blaming Kanye, but you know, you gotta tailor it to the artist you're working with at the same time. And again, like I said, Nas just didn't have his best bars on that project as well. Not that it was bad, it was still good, but also a pleasant positive surprise about this one is that some of the features actually work. You know, going into it, there are a couple of features where you're like, I don't know if that'll work or not. They actually do. Pleasant surprise there, so I was happy with that, and I will talk about that later as I'm breaking down some tracks. And finally, a pro for this one is that it is extremely pro-black. Now, some people might see that as a negative, and if you see that as a negative, go ahead and click off of my video because I don't want you here anyways. Sorry for getting a little serious there. Anyways, yeah, it was very pro-black. I enjoyed that. You know, he's been like that his entire career, but hearing him still talk about that through a more mature lens, again, him being in his 40s or 50s, is very good. And you can tell the differences in how he's aged and how he's matured and how his thought process has changed a little bit. Yet at the same time, it sounds like he's talking very similarly because, again, not that much has changed since the 90s. So, take that how you will. Anyways, let's move on to the cons. This is not the same Nas that you heard from 94 to 06 or so, or wherever you think Nas started to fall off. I'm not saying he fell off in 06. I'm just saying around that time, 04, 06, 08 maybe, he started to decline a bit, right? You know, just the bars weren't quite as good. The topics were a little bit recycled. The focus of the album wasn't all there, stuff like that. That being said, I do enjoy older Nas and the different topics that he is talking about. It's just a lot of the times it seems like he is recycling old ideas just in a new way. It is what it is, though. His energy at times comes off a bit low, you know. One thing I do enjoy about Nas is that he can have some really solid energy over a track where, you know, he's never rapping fast, but he just seems like he's really passionate. On this one, he has some passion, but it doesn't come through in the same way. You can't hear it in his tone quite as well as you often do in some of his older work. The features that don't work, like I said, some of them do and some of them surprise. The features that don't just really don't. Like, really don't. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the standouts here. For my first standout, I am going to talk about Ultra Black, which was the only single. There are great bars all throughout this song. Really good production. It's again, it does fall into the problem of being a little bit underwhelming when it comes to the energy. I will say that. But overall, I really enjoy this track. You know, again, very, very pro-black. And there is a low-key diss at Doja Cat, which I thought was funny. You know, he's talking about how black he is, and then he says, like, the opposite of Doja Cat. I thought that was hilarious. Apparently, she's supposed to be coming with a diss at him, or she already has. I don't know. I wouldn't know because I don't listen to her. Whatever. I really thought that was hilarious, so that was pretty cool. And again, a good single as a way to get us excited for this project, and especially to sell us on the idea of it. Now, after that, the track, let's see, Till the War Is Won. That features Lil Durk. And that's one of the features that just doesn't work. I don't know. I've never, in my mind, thought, hey, you know what? I want to hear Nas and Lil Durk. As a matter of fact, I've never really thought to myself, I want to hear Lil Durk. So, the fact that I hear Nas and Lil Durk together, it's just weird to me. Now, everything Lil Durk does isn't awful on this track, you know. I mean, I thought he sounded okay, just he doesn't really fit with Nas, and it's weird. It's a weird combo that I don't enjoy and definitely skip every single time I listen to this ever since I got my review finished. That being said, moving on from that, Replace Me features Don Toliver and Big Sean. Big Sean is someone that I've never thought to myself I want to hear with Nas, but, you know, just knowing the bars that he is capable of and the skill that he does actually have, even if he doesn't always showcase it, I knew that there was potential there once I saw they'd be working together, and he kills his feature. I mean, he does a good job. You know, he comes with some bars, some solid flows. You know Big Sean always has a good flow, so I thought that was very enjoyable. And then on top of that, Don Toliver comes through with a very solid hook. Now, Don Toliver is one of those guys that I just want to see work with everybody. So hearing him on this track was very good. I feel the same way, however, about Anderson .Paak, who is on the next track I'm talking about, All Bad. Like I said, features Anderson .Paak. That's all I need to say about that song. I love him, and I want him to work with literally every single one of my favorite rappers. Anybody. He's worked with Eminem. I loved it. He's worked with Dre. I loved it. He's worked with The Game. I loved it. Kendrick. I want to see him working with someone like Denzel. I wish he could work with Tupac. I mean, oh my gosh. Just the combinations he could work with are endless. He has a song with Nate Dogg. Rest in peace. He has a song with Nate Dogg off of his last album that came out last year. Okay, I'm going off the rails. Talk about Anderson .Paak. Regardless, great track. All Bad, great track. Everything that Anderson .Paak features on is amazing, and these two work together so well, as you could imagine. After that, the final song I really want to talk about is Full Circle, which has some great old-time features, old-school features that, you know, Nas loves working with. You got The Firm, you know, AZ, Foxy Brown, Cormega. I thought they were great features. I thought this was a great track that really felt, it felt similar to their older tracks, from back in the day, like the earlier 2000s. Just with them being a little bit more mature, obviously not quite having the same finesse or swagger on the microphone that they used to have, but regardless, it's still enjoyable to see these rappers who, you know, a lot of rappers get killed in their early 20s. So seeing these guys be up in their 30s, 40s, 50s, so on, and still on the mic is a blessing, honestly. Like, it's amazing to see. And I mean, just thinking that one day they'll be able to retire and not have been shot in the streets or not have overdosed or not have committed suicide or however they die, you know, that's a great thought, a happy thought, and I love seeing old school artists work together like this, especially when they have the chemistry that these guys have. So again, really enjoyable song. Overall conclusion, this was really good. It's not his best. Of course, it's not going to compare to Illmatic. It's not going to compare to It Was Written. It's not going to compare to Stillmatic or Godson. But he still went in. It was still good. Definitely his best from the last decade, in my opinion. Maybe Life Is Good you could put above that, but I'd put it above Nasir and the Lost Tapes too, most definitely. Really good production. The lyricism was on point, and overall a really good effort. Again, my only big complaint is that his energy seems to be a bit low, even lower than his past two records, which is a bit strange for Nas, but regardless, I really enjoyed his effort, and I look forward to what he can come up with next if he can bring a little bit more energy. Hopefully he continues to have production like this. I know there's supposed to be a DJ Premier Nas album, so I think that'll be even better because DJ Premier often brings out the best in artists. Look at his work with Gangstar, look at his work with Prime. Anything he touches usually turns out well, so them two working together, Not that they haven't worked together before, obviously, but them two working together overall on a project with him executive producing it, I only see that working out well, especially since DJ Premier is in his more mature phase as well now. So the mature raps that they can put out, a la Life is Good, a la 444, a la King's Disease, I think that would work out very well. That being said, my rating on this one, I am going to go with a very solid 8 out of 10. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I plan to go back to this one, although there are still definite negatives that stand out. It's not like I had to search for the negatives. I found them on the first listen. I actually thought this was a worse album on the first listen and then went back and caught some better bars, some better lyricism, some better moments on it, and my rating started to grow a little bit after that. So, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on this one. Not one of my favorites of the year, but certainly worth an honorable mention, or maybe just outside of that range. Really enjoyed it, and we'll go back to quite a few songs on this one. That being said, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit the bell next to my name for notifications. Share this video so other people can watch it, and just continue showing support, y'all. I appreciate y'all. We've been growing, and I love to see that. Honestly, I just love that y'all are enjoying the content. So I'm going to do my best as long as y'all keep coming back. If there's anything I need to change, let me know. That's all I got for y'all, though. Appreciate y'all, and I will hit y'all up next time.